guys, Lavender here. So today I'm going to be talking about this book, Grendel, my favorite book of the year, and here to discuss this book with me is my good friend Rose, another book reader, a reader of books, if you will. So basically, Grendel, for any of you who haven't read Grendel, is about this monster villain kind of thing, and he basically wants to be friends with these humans. He's kind of lonely, has a weird mom relationship thing going on. And he basically is rejected by the humans. They kind of try to kill him, so he kills a lot of them basically for 12 years. And spoiler alert, he dies. It's kind of sad, actually really sad, really sad. But yeah, so we're gonna be referencing the book a lot in this video, and we're also gonna be referencing the poem that the book is based off of called Beowulf. It's really boring and confusing, so basically the movie summary is Grendel is terrorizing people, so King Hrothgar finds someone to slay him. Then Beowulf comes to the Danes and cuts off the arm of Grendel, and everyone celebrates, and he gets this sword thing, and then he has to slay Beowulf's dragon. It's this whole thing, and he's mad, and then he earns kingship, and then he goes to slay this other dragon that's guarding this treasure, and he's not supposed to, but he just does it anyways, and then he dies, and this other guy Wiglaf gets some kinship, yada yada yada. It's this whole thing.
Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the characters, and this is going to be really, really fast, so I just stuttered. Okay, Grendel is the main character, protagonist, narrator, and he's a monster, and he attacks the Danes. Hrothgar is the king of the Danes, and Grendel and him Grendel kind of hates him. I guess he hates Grendel too. And then the Shaper is this character who tells lies through storytelling, and Grendel hates it, basically. The dragon is someone that Grendel visits a lot and shows him that the world is meaningless. Beowulf kills Grendel. He's the enemy number one. And then, I already said Hrothgar was the enemy number one, but just Beowulf's kind of a big enemy. Okay, next.
Alright, so basically we have this blog, or I have this blog, grendeltheminority.wordpress.com if you want to check it out, but we basically just had a little bit of an obsession with Grendel lately, and we are going to discuss 5 questions that we've been asked about Grendel and that we just have about Grendel in general.
And they kind of have to do with our recent, or her/our, I kind of help her a little bit, recent blog posts that we've been doing.
Question number 1. Is the classification of hero or villain changed based on perspective? Rose?
Of course. Okay, so in the book Grendel, he is seen as more of a hero, probably because he's narrating it, and mankind, or the Danes, is seen as a villain. But in the movie Beowulf, or the short story / poem Beowulf, he is seen as the hero, and Grendel is seen as the villain. So this just shows that a hero and villain aren't necessarily set in stone, but they can change based on someone's perspective. And this can also be seen through Unferth, because he was seen as a hero to the Danes, but a coward to Grendel. So yeah, that's number 1.
Question number 2. How does being part of an underrepresented minority and feeling isolated affect a person's psyche? So, as discussed in one of my more recent articles, racism sucks, which it does. Being a part of an underrepresented minority can cause PTSD, which can actually lead to a lack of self-control. And who do we know that has a lack of self-control? Oh, Grendel, because he kills all the Danes. So this just shows that being a part of an underrepresented minority can affect your psyche in a negative way and force you to act out in a negative way. Alert! A third guest has come to answer our 3rd question. Please welcome Andrew, otherwise known as Venus Flytrap.
Dumb question. All right, go.
So our 3rd question is, how does power and praise affect people? So one of the characters in the book, Hrothgar, he kind of starts off as a king with very little allies or power, and over time he kind of gets more allies that start to pay him with people and just a bunch of other materials. So yeah, then he starts to get kind of crazy in the head. He starts to throw a bunch of parties and invite people, and he thinks he can just take over anyone, build whatever he wants. So that's just one example.
Yeah, that's pretty good. All right, next question.
Thank you, Venus Flytrap. And question 4 is, in what ways do people benefit / are people affected from constant communication and contact with people similar to themselves?
All right. So, the Danes had each other, and they talked to each other all the time. They were in contact with each other. So they shared similar beliefs and ideals, such as the god that they believed in and how much they hated Grendel. While Grendel didn't have a lot of contact with other people, so he was kind of like depressed and sad, and I guess maybe that caused him to lash out at them, or he was just like lonely, and maybe if he had friends or people like him, then he wouldn't be so misunderstood. So yeah.
Thank you, Rose.
You're welcome.
And our final question, number 5, is the need humans feel to oppress people unlike themselves instinctual, or is it something we pick up on? Why? Now, I already talked about this in one of my recent blog posts. The dress. The dress was this whole big thing. It was either white and gold or blue and black. Different people saw it
Blue and
different
black.
ways. Blue and black, for the record. But it was a thing like last year-ish. Anyways, so in that scenario back then, everybody was like either team blue and black or team white and gold, and everybody thought that people on the other side were so stupid, and they were teaming up in a smaller scale, but they were just oppressing the people that they didn't think were like them. They just wanted to feel in a unified group with the people similar to them, and they were like, oh, screw these other people who aren't like me.
That was me.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
So, we are guilty of this as well. But this is the same as in Grendel, because the Danes are all humans and they are similar, and so they immediately see Grendel and they're like, oh my gosh, he's different. So it's an instinct to just like hate him and to be skeptical of his what he's trying to do and everything. So they just like so they just like hate him. Poor Grendel.
Yeah. So that's basically the end of our book talk.
So yeah,
Maybe you got a little bit out of this. Maybe you want to read Grendel now. Maybe you're like, oh no, never.
because we kind of spoiled the whole book for you.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Venus flytrap.
Venus flytrap.
Well,
is
that's
back.
cool.
Well, yeah. So be sure to check out my blog, grendeltheminority.wordpress.com, and please be sure to subscribe and like this video. And I'll be sure to post a new video next week. And you can check out Rose at youtube.com/Rose, and you can check out Venus Flytrap at youtube.com/Venus Flytrap. Thanks, guys. Love you so much. Bye.